Hi guys, it's me, Brady, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a rather tasty video for you, and by tasty I mean cookies, and I mean we're baking cookies. So, if you like warm chocolate chip cookies or high key lighting setups, which we'll also touch on in this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. So while spending time vacationing in Florida with Sarah and her family, we decided to bake some warm chocolate chip cookies. And like any of us deranged creators would do, I got my lights and I got my camera and I decided to film it all because why not? It's a great looking kitchen and high key lighting is fun. So, touching on the high key lighting setup for a moment here, the objective of high key lighting setups are to eliminate as many shadows or eliminate the contrast between highlights and shadows as best as you can. So the goal is to really have everything very evenly lit, and this kitchen is perfectly set up to do so. So that's what we're going to be touching on here, which is high key lighting. So with that being said, the most important thing is to know that we're avoiding shadows in any way. So we're gonna be touching on things like your key light, of course, and some fill light for room tone, and also some accessory lights, if we want to call them that, just to eliminate shadows a little bit more. Now, since I was shooting at night, the entire kitchen was dark. So the objective of my first light is to bring up the, please, I don't know if you heard that, they're screaming. They must be excited about this video. Or they're excited about Cut's 5th year anniversary sale that is currently going on right now, where their entire website is 25% off everything for the next 7 days, I think, after this video goes off. So go ahead and check it out. This is a Cut shirt, of course, because honestly, I wear Cuts everywhere. I just went to Utah and I packed my entire suitcase with Cuts. So all that aside, go check out Cut's website. I'm gonna leave my link down below, so don't sleep on it. Things are going to go fast. But speaking of excitement and exciting things, warm chocolate chip cookies and high key lighting setups are just as exciting. So, as I was saying before, I was shooting at dark, the kitchen was dark. I needed to bring up that room tone, or that overall room exposure. And one way to do that is get a huge diffusion frame and punch light through that, but I just simply did not have a large source of diffusion, and not many of us do. So I looked up, I saw the ceiling is a large white bouncing source. So I took my first light, a 300D Mark II from Aputure, and I just blasted that off the ceiling, allowing it to just naturally spread out and create an even exposure throughout the entire kitchen. So now with just this one light, we're starting to get this room tone and creating this look that we're going for. So with this one room tone light in place, you're starting to get this look, but you're still getting this overhead, top-down kind of sourcey look in the shadows, and you can tell that there's just one large blanket source coming down, bounced from the ceiling. So this probably would work as a one light setup, but it just wasn't quite there for me. So I wanted a key light just to really focus on exposing our subjects, which is Sarah and her sister. And of course, we're packing small, we're packing on a budget. So one option is just, again, get a large source of diffusion as a key light, but all I had was a light dome. So I used a light dome on my Aputure 300X, just set to daylight, matching the 300D color temperature. And I wanted to still have some sort of side light to get some sort of side light contrast on their face, but I'm remembering we're doing a high key lighting setup, so we're avoiding a lot of drastic contrast across the face. So I had that light at about 45 degrees from our subjects, Sarah and her sister, just illuminating them, pulling them a little bit more from the shadows and really telling the viewer that they are the main point of focus. So we've got the 300D as our room tone, our room fill, and then the 300X for the softbox, acting as our key light. Now, two lights are down, but there's one more that I love doing, especially for kitchens. It just gives it such a clean, polished off look. And that was take some Aputure MCs and I just gaff tape them under the counters, because looking at it with just the two lights that we previously added, we were still getting a lot of shadow under the cabinets, and we couldn't really fight that in any other way. So by taking the MCs under the cabinets, you're just blasting light on that backsplash just to fill in any shadows that might be there. So I took, I want to say, 5 MCs. I used a magnet for one just right under the microwave, and then the rest of them I gaff taped up. All of them were set to 5600 Kelvin, and to expose it right, I just turned on false color on my camera and just made sure that the exposure was similar enough in the entire frame was pretty even. So the exposure now with the MCs under the countertop, everything is very evenly lit and you're not getting a lot of dark contrasty shadows and blacks. And I'm gonna leave a link up above here somewhere if you do not yet know how to use false color, or if your camera doesn't have false color, there are some other alternatives to exposing your shot correctly in that video. But that is the three factors that went into this high key lighting setup. And I know high key can be very intimidating because you need to eliminate shadows in every which way, but this was a very simple way, a simple low budget, relatively low budget way to create this high key, low contrast look in this bright white, beautiful kitchen. Now that about wraps up this week's video. So if you're still watching this far, there's an ant on me, but if you're still watching this far, leave a comment down below of your favorite cookie and why. I don't know why I just came up with that, but leave a comment down below of your favorite cookie, and check Cuts out because 25% off. They're honestly the best shirts that I own and I wear them everywhere. So with that being said, I will see you next week.